I stop. I swat.
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out.
What is up, everyone? So we're here with another video today, and it's Friday for us now, so prayers up. We're about to get out of school. I'll probably be streaming later today. If you're seeing this video, it should be at 3 p.m. Eastern that you're seeing this video. So later today there will possibly be a stream depending on how I'm feeling when I get home and depending on what I have to do. But I said I was going to be streaming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I streamed Wednesday, I streamed Thursday, and in all actuality I probably will end up streaming Friday tomorrow, but I'm not too sure. As you guys know, that we will be doing videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday now, because there will be football games every Sunday, whatever day the football game lands on, because there's Monday Night Football, all that stuff. Preseason schedules are also pretty weird. So as we all anxiously wait the preseason coming up, the preseason game that we have versus the Chargers, I believe, in just a short amount of days now, I think it would be cool to talk about the preseason breakout candidates that the New Orleans Saints have. Now, I already covered the regular season breakout candidates, the ones that that can break out as players individually, but I'm talking about preseason breakout candidates, the people who can break out, explode, and really make the roster. This is more for people that aren't really on the roster, even though I will be talking about a few solidified people, but that's because they have battles for their own reasons. But for the people that haven't really 100% made the roster, this is a really interesting topic to talk about. Now, I don't want to make this video super long, so I won't be able to talk about every single person that I think can break out. There are a lot of people that I think can break out that I was not able to put on this list because I don't want this list to be 15 minutes long. This is more going to stay towards the wide receiver, quarterback, safety end of things. I will make more videos talking about this in the future if you guys respond to this one well, giving the running back side of things, the offensive line side of things, defensive lines, and so much more. But until then, we're just going to stick to the basics, and it's going to be the things that I've observed the most, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing I would like to talk about is the quarterbacks. Now, the New Orleans Saints have a good quarterback group. We have Drew Brees, Teddy Bridgewater, and Taysom Hill. Now, Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill can go in any order. Sean Payton says that he wants Teddy Bridgewater to be the quarterback after Drew Brees, but Taysom Hill can go out and make a case for himself if he was willing to put in the work to do so. If we look at their stats from the Minnesota Vikings game, Taysom Hill was 8 for 14, had 80 yards, 1 touchdown, and an interception, but that interception I'm taking off of the stat sheet because that wasn't his fault, so 8 for 14, 80 yards, and a touchdown. He also had 6 carries for 45 yards, which led the New Orleans Saints in rushing. So he played a very interesting role. He was carrying the ball well and throwing the ball pretty well. So there wasn't really much the team could do to stop him. Teddy Bridgewater, though, showed a very, very, very accurate display of passing. He was 14 for 19 for 134 yards and a touchdown. So it's going to be very interesting, like I said before preseason started, to watch these two battle it out for possibly the future starting job on the New Orleans Saints team. It's going to be very interesting to check out. So either of these players are primed to go out and sling 30 for 30, 5 touchdowns, 300 yards. Either of them can explode in just pure, sheer competition and will to win that starting job after the sad, sad retirement of Drew Brees that is inevitably going to come soon. So Taysom Hill and Teddy Bridgewater are the first two people I have on the list as breakout candidates. They can go ahead and either of them could have a fantastic preseason and make a huge statement for themselves. So those are two very, very, very important players that can go out there and explode. By the way, since 2016, the Falcons just lost a preseason game, so they're 0-11 in preseason, and that is why every time one person gets hurt, they go 8-8 because they have no depth. So I'm just putting that out there. My favorite part of training camp and my now favorite part of preseason is the evaluation of the New Orleans Saints wide receivers that we took in from either college or undrafted free agents. Now, it's insane how many quality wide receivers the New Orleans Saints were able to scoop up the market. You don't give us an LSU track star, Lil Jordan Humphrey, and Emmanuel Butler and expect us not to utilize them, is what I'm trying to say. But the thing is it's only a 53-man roster. We do not have space for 3 more wide receivers after Michael Thomas, Traquan Smith, and Ted Ginn Jr. It was already been said that Keith Kirkwood is not a lock, but they're going to take into account the things he did last season. So Keith Kirkwood isn't locked in. It's going to be very interesting to see this play out. Emmanuel Butler has been the star of training camp, 100%. Emmanuel Butler has been playing fantastic. He's been a big body target that has been making nasty catches. This one just today, well, yesterday at this point, against the Los Angeles Chargers, an unfamiliar defense. That's the difference between Emmanuel Butler and the others. He's showing out versus a team that is not the New Orleans Saints, someone he's never played before in his entire life. He's going out there and doing the things he needs to do. Emmanuel Butler will get his first preseason action this week against the Los Angeles Chargers. He's already made big plays against them in training camp. Hopefully, in practice, hopefully he can translate that onto the game setting of the field. Now, the thing we do not know about Emmanuel Butler is if that can translate into an in-game setting. Lil Jordan Humphrey proved to us that he can translate his work into a game setting by having 2 receptions for 42 yards on 2 targets and a touchdown, which I will show again was elusive, tricky, and something someone that big should not have been able to do. Cyril Grayson Jr. is also not a lock. He's probably the third horse in this race, the second or third horse in this race, in my opinion. I think Cyril Grayson Jr. is great. I just don't know how much room he has on the roster being a speedster when we have Ted Ginn Jr. as our speedster. Who knows if the Saints will look at that as an age thing, but we'll see when the final cuts come, and I will definitely be making a video covering that. Cyril Grayson Jr. on 2 targets, had 2 receptions for 32 yards, one of them in a really impressive 30-yard bomb during the 2-minute drill. Really important catch he made by Teddy Bridgewater. Perfect throw. He caught it. He has shown to bring up his football skills. When training camp started, he really did not have the best football skills in the world. He was a track star. He convinced LSU's football team program to let him go compete at their pro day. So it's a very interesting story with Cyril Grayson Jr. I'm glad he's getting his opportunity here. I don't know how keen I am on him making the roster, but it's still a very interesting thing to watch. Lil Jordan Humphrey, Cyril Grayson Jr., and Emmanuel Butler all know what's going on. They all understand that there are very limited roster spots, and to make the team, they have to perform. Watch out this Sunday for either one of these receivers out of the 3 to go absolutely berserk. I'm really hoping Emmanuel Butler gets the targets I want him to get. I want him to get at least bare minimum 5 targets throughout the entirety of the game because I want to see what this man is truly made of. I want to see if he can go out there and translate what he does in camp onto an in-game, on-field setting. It's very important that he can do that. It's like if you have somebody that can go and repair cars in somebody's garage, but as soon as they get a job as a mechanic and go to the mechanic place, they can't put anything together. That is what we need to see from Emmanuel Butler. We need to make sure that he can do both in training camp and on the actual field. The nervous butterfly gut things, they can affect you. We just need to make sure that this man is foolproof. Lil Jordan Humphrey and Cyril Grayson Jr. have already shown that they can translate. We just got to make sure it's the same for Emmanuel Butler. So those 3 players in the wide receiver department are primed for a breakout. And the last little group of people I want to cover is the safeties. The safeties are in a very important group as the safety depth last year was very, very, very questionable. We had Kurt Coleman playing a little bit. Not good. It wasn't good at all. Kurt Coleman sucked. But we have Marcus Williams and Von Bell. Behind them, we really don't have anyone else. We do not want to end up like the Atlanta Falcons, who after losing Keanu Neal completely fell to the bottom of the league in defensive ratings. As you've seen, we now drafted Chauncey Gardner-Johnson specifically to avoid this situation, and we drafted Saquon Hampton. Another player that not a lot of people talk about is JT Gray. JT Gray played very, very well versus the Minnesota Vikings, but he did get a lot of playing time. He came out with 5 total tackles, which was more than Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had 2 tackles, and Saquon Hampton had 2 as well. JT Gray played way above my expectations. I don't think he's going to make the final roster. I think it's going to be Chauncey and Saquon and Von Bell and Marcus Williams, but that's definitely someone to look at if they're really, really, really going to push and try to make a strong statement to stay on the roster. But we definitely need to look at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Saquon Hampton. They know there's intermediate competition. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson really could, if Marcus Williams were to mess up in some way, he really could go out there and attempt to fleece that starting job from him. So Very interesting situation with that. We have quality backups fighting for quality spots, quality wide receivers. Emmanuel Butler can run with the ones. I forgot to mention, during the camp, he's gotten a ton of time with the ones. He's playing out there with Drew Brees, with the starting offense, getting his reps. It's very interesting. You need to watch out for that guy this week. It's going to be extremely insane watching him play. I'm too excited. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think can break out this preseason? Let me know down below. Lil Jordan Humphrey is a common one. So is Emmanuel and Cyril. Chauncey Gardner, JT Gray, Saquon Hampton, Taysom Hill, Teddy Bridgewater are the ones I covered. Did I miss anyone? Do you want me to go over any other players like Divine Ozigbo and players like that? Go ahead and comment down below what you think and what you want to see me make a video on next. I really appreciate you guys clicking on this video and watching. The support means a ton to me. It means more than anything you could ever imagine, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.
Ballin' like Barkley, wrist so sparkly, internet surfing, feel like iCarly.